Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you a couple different ways on how to make anime inspired cat toys. Today's project is the Uzumaki clan symbol from Naruto. These are the materials that you'll be using, and for a slightly easier and faster version, grab some black acrylic or fabric paint and a thin paintbrush. First we'll start with the embroidered version. Put the fabric in the hoop and then draw the desired size of your circle. If you have a protractor, use that, but I can't find mine, so I used the lid of a pin case. Then draw the swirl inside the circle. It's okay if you mess up, you can always wash it away later. Once you've threaded your needle with the embroidery floss and made a knot at the end, decide on which stitch you want to use for the swirl. You can do a running stitch, back stitch, and even a stem stitch, but I decided to go with the split stitch because I like to overcomplicate my life. First, pull the needle through the front of the fabric away from the design. That way, the knot isn't creating unnecessary bulk when you bring both sides together. To start the design, bring the needle up from the back to the front of the hoop. This is point A. Then bring the needle back down about a centimeter up the swirl. This is point B. Now bring the needle up to the front in between both points A and B, and evenly divide the floss strands to create point C. Pull the needle a centimeter away from point C down to make point D, and that is the first split in the split stitch. Continue steps A through D until you reach the end of the swirl. Turn the hoop over to the back and carry the thread through the stitches to the beginning. Also, cut off the knot in the front to release the thread. Glue the threads together to finish. Although it's not necessary, tie the loose threads together a couple of times to be secure. Now take the fabric out of the hoop and draw another circle of the same size for the back of the toy. Now pin the front and back together. Make sure to leave a pocket large enough to fill with stuffing later. For version 2 of the cat toy, just follow steps 1 and 2 of the video, then cut out the pieces. Now we paint. If you're like me and don't have fabric paint, acrylic paint works just fine. To finish the edge, I used a blanket stitch. With your needle and thread ready, hide the knot in between the layers and pull the needle through the bottom layer to make point A. Bring it around the top layer and go down through both layers to make point B. Pull the thread through A and B and go down the top layer next to B to create point C. This anchors the thread down. Now from point C, go down both layers and pass the needle through the loop that it's creating and go down the top and bottom, which makes point D. Continue the steps for point C and D to go around the edge. So I'm going to be honest with you here, I struggled a lot with the blanket stitch. I'm showing you how to do it on the painted version because I messed up and restarted the embroidered one like 4 times. I realized this later that I could have done a simple whip stitch to secure the edges and save myself a massive headache in about half an hour. Oh well. Now this is taking forever. I'll try to speed this up a little. Also, remember to leave a big enough pocket to fill. Once you've reached a good enough stopping point, you can now fill the toy. To plump it up a little, fill it with scrap fabric. Polyfill works too. It doesn't really matter how you go about this, I just grabbed a couple of larger pieces and wrapped the catnip with them. Then I haphazardly wrapped embroidery floss around it so that it won't fall apart later. I recently learned that my younger cat gets pretty aggressive with catnip, so I filled his with plastic instead. Now adding a little bit more filling and then continue stitching. To finish, connect the last loop to the first loop and pass the needle through the loop a couple times, then cut the thread. If you want, knot the thread around if you know your cat will get rough with it. Then hide the knot in between the layers. And there you have it, an anime cat toy. This is my first time doing it and it's my first video ever, so let me know in the comments below what you think. Also, let me know how it went for you. Hopefully you had as much fun as I did. I'm thinking of making this a series, so if there's another item from Naruto, or even another anime that you want to see a cat toy of, comment down below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.